Hi everybody, David here. I'm going to give you a quick grain to glass video tonight. It's of a beer that I only bottled 2 weeks ago, so we'll have our first tasting of it. It's a beer from South Africa, from a brewery called Riot Brewing. They've got a website. I'll try and put a link in the description. I'm not good at that sort of thing, but I'll try my best. And I was put onto this beer by Michael Halls, who's based in Cape Town, my friend, and he said, if you want to brew another South African beer, have a look at this video on YouTube. So I'll try and send a link to the video that I watched, and I watched it a couple of times. And the guy who owns Riot Brewing and who brewed this beer is called Mark Forey, and he explains on the video how to brew this very famous beer in South Africa, Valve IPA. Now, Riot Brewing is supposed to be South Africa's loudest brewery. I've just been doing some research on it, and they make beer that's loud, proud, and with fistfuls of flavour. And all their beers have got individual personality and flair, a bit like me really. I wish. Yeah, so it's got a lot to live up to, this Valve. So anyway, I'll show you some brief brewing footage. It is only brief, it's not highly interesting, but I did try and follow all the information on the video that Mark Forey put out of how to brew, how to clone this Valve IPA. So we'll have a look at that, and then we'll have a tasting of mine and see if it lives up to its reputation. Right, we're ready to start the Valve IPA. Not made this one before. 5.4 kilos of Golden Promise from Fawcett's. In here I've got, let me work it out, I've got 150 grams of Munich, I've got 75 grams of Naked Oats, and I've got 20 grams of Crystal. It should be T50 Crystal, whatever that is. This is just Crystal EBC 50. It doesn't call for any acid malt, but I'm going to throw 100 grams in. I've got Grainfather set to 65 degrees. It's actually a 66 mash, but I'm setting it to 65 because it goes up to 66 and then it drops. So I'm going to get going in. It's going to be a 1 hour mash. Got everything ready, so I'll get started. Wish me luck. 96, not far off the boil. We got nearly 30 litres in there. It's still dripping the malt pipe, so I drip it into that bowl. That's my bread bowl, and then I'll pour it in. Here comes wife. Go and empty that, lovely. It's full of water. I'll have that spoon, love. Near mind hitting me with it. Yeah, so it's a 90-minute boil, as I said. I'm going to put in some hops at 60 minutes left and some hops at 30 minutes left. I'll tell you what they are when I get to it. Right, we've been boiling 30 minutes nearly now. A few seconds left to go. So we're down to 60 minutes left. There's 2 hop additions. They're both the same. It's 15 grams of Columbus and 4 grams of Centennial. So one's going in now. Here we go. And then the same again in another 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes left of the boil. So I'll give them a bit of a stir. So 2 hop additions that are exactly the same. As I say, I've never brewed this one before. It's a South African one. I think it's Riot Brewing. A gentleman called Mark Forey, if I said his name right. Apologies if I didn't. And I know it won some medals, this beer. But I'll give more information about that later. So that's it for another half an hour. That's me 1 hour edition. The malt pipe's still dripping with the run-ins, so that'll be going in. So I'll get back to you at probably at yeast pitching. Well, I thought while I was here I might as well show you the second hop edition, same as the first one, and there's 30 minutes left now of the boil. Yep, all gone. Quick stir. And there is, I forgot to say, a whirlpool edition, so I better show you that prior to me pitching the yeast, and then you'll know what I've put in. So I put a Protoflock in about 15 minutes time, some yeast nutrient, and then it'll be the dry hops, the whirlpool hops. Well, these are my flame out hops. I've been whirlpooling 2 minutes, so I'm putting these in. I'll tell you what they are in a second. Yep, they're all in. And I'm going to carry on whirlpooling now for another 2 minutes. There's 15 grams of Centennial, 15 grams of Chinook, 15 grams of Citra, and 15 grams of Simcoe. So I'm going to whirlpool another 2 minutes, and then I'm going to let it stand a further 10. So these are your flame out and whirlpool editions, so I'll carry on. Right, we're transferring. I've just taken an LG on the hydrometer. It was 1.060. I don't know what the tilt's saying, probably a bit more, but it was 1.060, the OG. So we've got to try and get this to 18 degrees, because you have to pitch the yeast at 18 degrees. Now the yeast is Californian ale yeast. Unfortunately, I haven't got any, and couldn't get any. So I'm having to substitute it, which is wrong of me, I know, but I've no option. So I'm putting Verdant IPA yeast in, because I've got a packet. I think it should be all right, but it should be Californian ale yeast. Okay, we're back. That was the brewing footage. I've got 2 bottles of the Valve IPA here. I've had them in the fridge. Now these were bottled 2 weeks ago. Well, tomorrow. It's Saturday night at the moment, but tomorrow morning they've been bottled 2 weeks. But you know what they say, certain beers have to be drunk fresh to appreciate all the hop characteristics. Now this one, I believe, is a West Coast style IPA, but there were 2 dry hop additions. You can see all the recipe on, if you watch Mark's video, he puts everything in order, and that's basically what I did. Now my OG on this was 1.060, and I think the final gravity was 1.015. I've got my notes here. So roughly, well, I said roughly, on the calculator it was 5.9% ABV. So I think the original was more or less the same as that. But unfortunately, although I didn't get to South Africa this April, as many of you know, I did get there in April 2019. I never tried Valve IPA because I was at the Fools and Fans Festival. I can't remember trying it. So whatever this tastes like, I can't say that it's going to be like the original. But let's get on with it. So first of all, get a bit closer. See if it pops. Can you see the top? Well, there was a pop. Yeah, there is cannon smoke there. It's still coming out. You probably didn't see it, but take my word for it. Tell you what, I'll come closer. And let's pour this so you can see. Now I'm looking for a lot of hop flavour in this one. I'm getting whiffs of it now. Oh yeah, I can smell it now. Oh yes, tropical fruits, guava. That's as far as I'm going to go. What do you think? Let's have a look. Well, it's well carbed. I don't think it's over carbed. You can just see the bubbles. It wasn't gushing. What about the colour? Let me get into the light. I don't know whether you can see a nice darkish golden colour. A nice 2 fingers of white head. Now the smell, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I get that tropicalness, that sticky guava fruit, that mango, lychee. Oh, it's very, very strong, is that. Let's have a taste then. Wow, that is an interesting beer, is that. First of all, it is absolutely delicious. I don't know whether it should be any clearer. It almost looks like a New England IPA, but it's a West Coast style. So it's bold with the hops. But I think the IBU's are around about 50, 55, so it should have a bit of a lingering bitterness on the back end. Yeah, you've got like a hoppy bitterness that sort of lingers. It's not too powerful, but yeah, I can taste it now as my mouth's dry and it's sticking. So yeah, I get that hoppy bitterness, but that flavour is beautiful. It's almost like a British IPA style, that, but yet it's like it's an American West Coast IPA, hoppy, fruity, but it's almost got like a British style to it with the dryness and the bitterness after it. I could quite enjoy sinking a few of those. Let me just pour the other one. In honour of South Africa, I'm going to pour one in a South African glass that I got at the Fools and Fans Beer Festival. My wife will probably want this one. So let's have a look at it in a South African glass. Yeah, that adds thin white head, 1 finger. Beautiful smell, that. Absolutely beautiful. The body of that is medium to thick actually. There's a little bit of residual sweetness, only slight. I think its final gravity was just about right. That is a beautiful drink, that. I don't know what how it would compare with the original, but I know that I think the original Valve IPA, I think a few years ago it won some gold medal in a beer competition over there, and I can well understand why. It's beautiful, is that. Well done. That is a beautiful beer. So I'd like to thank Mark Forey and Riot Brewing for showing us the video on YouTube and enabling me to clone it. Thanks to Mike Halls for putting me onto it, because I wouldn't have known without him. So yeah, get yourself on there, watch Mark's video, get the recipe and have a go. I can fully recommend it. Happy brewing!